And we are back. Let's continue. Let me just lower the volume on my end like usual. And we continue. Oh boy. Let's first check. I think I did this at the end of the last part, but you know. Yeah. Yeah, disappeared. And yeah, corpses, yeah. Nothing here about her. Freak out. Oh. Sure. And tips. We have those two and nothing here. Sure. Okay. How long have we been playing total? Whoa. Okay. Wow, that's and there's 8 episodes. Damn, it's gonna be a long let's play. My god. Okay, lock in. Lunch had ended and the servants had removed the tableware and were now in the kitchen. The wind and rain had neither weakened nor strengthened, and the island remained cut off from the outside world. It seemed that at first Natsuhi had planned not to let anyone set one foot outside the room, but when it came time to prepare lunch, she finally realized that this was impossible. However, in order to avoid having anyone alone in the kitchen, she told the 3 servants to go together. Because of that, the servants were the first ones given the right to leave the stuffy parlor, which had been packed with 11 people. Since breakfast had immediately followed that terrible incident, and many of them hadn't eaten much, everyone tore into their lunches in silence. Yeah.
私が洗いますから、源氏さんとカノン君は少し休んでいてくださいな。
Right, they were kinda running around.
何か飲みます？
私は結構。
The goat. I don't need anything, I'm good.
カノンは
僕も結構です。
Okay.
お二人とも早朝から大変だったでしょう。
Mm-hmm.
参ってしまうのも仕方ないことですよ。
Did you ever hear about how early in the morning they started doing stuff? Because didn't you arrive kind of late into the situation? Huh. I'll keep that in my mind, but let's just assume for now that someone told her that they started searching early. Because I don't remember that kind of a line, but you know, bad memory. The only sound was that of Kumasawa washing the dishes, which resounded throughout the kitchen. Genji and Kanon sat in some chairs a short distance away, their eyes lightly closed. Just as Kumasawa had said, those two had probably built up a great deal of fatigue, yeah. But that didn't mean they could let it show in front of their relatives. Avoiding that was one of their virtues. After the silence had continued for some time, Kanon opened his mouth and muttered,
Shana.
Oof.
どうしてあんなひどい死に方を。
I am very interested to learn about Kanon's state of mind, because he seemed like very much like originally accepting of being a furniture and having no emotion. Well, not having any emotions, but like you know, just being there for the sake of Kinzo. And also just I don't know, he seemed to be in on what Kinzo said the prophecy was gonna be, and Yeah. But seems like he is still missing her, or at least feeling bad about the way he went.
死に方のことは忘れなさい。
Minute darkness.
ただ運がなかっただけだ。
Right. From their point of view, yeah.
そうですね。ただ運がなかっただけです。
They both fell silent once again. Cannon's expression was filled with grief.
シャノンちゃんが死んじゃったなんて未だに信じられませんよ。本当にかわいそうに。もう会えないなんて嘘みたいですよ。もう一度あの子の笑顔が見たかったのに。
And Kumasawa is breaking too. Kumasawa spoke with her back facing them. Kumasawa hadn't seen Shannon's corpse, so she had no trouble mentioning Shannon's face. When Kannon heard those words, it reminded him again of how only half of Shannon's face had been left, and his grieving expression twisted even further.
どうしてベアトリーチェ様はシャノンを。
I mean, it was random, I guess.
生贄が欲しかったなら他にも大勢いただろうに。どうしてどうして。
ただ運が悪かっただけだ。少しの運がたがえばシャノンの代わりにあそこに横たわっていたのは私だったのかもしれないし、お前だったのかもしれない。
Yeah.
あるいは他の誰かだったのかもしれない。すべては運命だ。
源氏様、奥様の部屋の扉に血のような跡がついていたとおっしゃっていましたね。
Right. It should have been, yeah, Natsuhi, but you know, that was prevented, so someone else had to go instead.
シャッターに書かれていたのと同じもので。
気味の悪い跡だった。まるで血のついた指でドアノブを引き抜こうとするかのような。
Yeah. It is interesting that at least we haven't heard other places having those kinds of marks. Like obviously here in the kitchen, which is assumedly the place where they were initially murdered. And then the shed itself had blood. But like we didn't hear like for example Rudolph's or Kyria's doors having blood, or but I guess they were all fighting till late, so they might have not gone to their rooms, so yeah.
いや、扉をかき破ろうとしたのか。
Scratched through the door. Maybe, I mean, this line here almost makes me think that it was not Beatrice's bloody hands, but it was one of the victims trying to reach Natsuhi for either help or some other reason.
そんな気味の悪い跡だった。
ベアトリーチェ様が奥様の部屋を訪れて、そして扉を開こうとしたけれど開けということでしょうか。
Sorry, skip that line there. But yeah, this is the main idea, so let's just assume it's this and go with this idea, but keep the other idea in mind too, of it being one of the victims instead. Genji thought back to the time he had seen those traces of blood on the door to Natsuhi's room. with the substance sticking to the door around the doorknob, and the marks of something scratching against the door. It had definitely appeared as though someone had tried to open the door, but couldn't.
どうして奥様は生贄を免れたんだ。もし奥様が選ばれてたなら、シャノンは死ななくて済んだのに。
Right. Just then, a loud, sharp noise resounded from the hall. Uh-oh. Sharp noise. Did someone drop a vase? Or is Maria doing something weird? Or both of them turned around, surprised.
面白そうな話じゃねえか。
Hello there, battler.
俺も混ぜてくれよ。
Battler was standing in the doorway to the kitchen.
バトラ様、これは失礼いたしました。
Genji-san and Kanon-kun stood up, surprised, and hastily bowed. But I didn't care about stuff like that. This kind of stuff always confuses me. Like, we go from omniscient storyteller perspective to battler here. Unless it's just a fake out and this is actually from Beatrice's POV. Or something, I don't know. But usually, so far, I at least have read it as if it was from Battler's POV. I was more concerned with continuing their discussion. I guess there was a small scene cut here, so it would make sense to switch to Battler's POV.
便所って言って抜けさせてもらったのさ。ずっとあの部屋に閉じ込められてると窒息しちまいそうだったからな。水でも飲ませてもらおうかと思ったら面白そうな話が聞こえてきたんでよ。頭なんか下げなくていいぜ。今の話の続きを聞かせてくれよ。
Yeah.
今のは別に。
ちょいと前から話は聞かせてもらってるんだ。今さら隠すなよ。だから単刀直入に聞くさ。ベアトリーチェってのは何者だ？
Battler thinks that they know the exact identity of Beatrice, okay?
どうやらおとぎ話の魔女ってだけじゃなさそうだな。
Kanon-kun averted his gaze. It was obvious that he didn't want to talk about this. Which only made me want to ask even more. While making an effort to smile, I grabbed the collar of his shirt. Yeah, a good effort was made.
昨べまでなら俺は無関係さ。だがな、今朝からは違う。
Oh my, very proactive of Battler.
親父たちを殺された時点で、俺は立派な関係者だ。俺にも、そのうさんくさそうな話を聞かせてもらう資格があるはずだぜ。
I glared into Kanon-kun's eyes as he still continued to look away, in apparent pain. Since there was a big difference in our heights, Kanon-kun had to stand on his toes, and it looked like it hurt a bit.
バトラさん、手を離してやってくださいな。
I mean, he's understandably a bit on the edge.
別にカノンさんは隠しているわけではないのです。
じゃあ話してくれたっていいじゃねえか。仲間外れたら寂しいぜ。
When I tried to further twist up his collar, Genji-san cut between us and spoke. There was a slight sense of resignation on his face. It looked like he didn't plan on hiding anything.
お話しすることはできます。ただ、バトラ様がお気を悪くなされるかもしれませんので、 カノンは躊躇しているのです。
躊躇なんて男らしくねえぜ。内緒にされる方が気持ち悪いさ。聞かせてくれよ。どうせ明日までできることはないんだ。多少はうさんくさい話の方が退屈も紛れるってもんだぜ。
After Genji-san and Kanon-kun looked at each other, they nodded as though they had decided to talk.
わかりました。何でもお聞きください。お話しします。
ああ。じゃあ聞くぜ。ベアトリーチェってのは一体何なんだ？
I wonder if they're gonna give an answer that's any different from the local legend everyone here knows.
俺が知ってる限りでは、露見島の森に住まう魔女ってことになってる。森に入ると危ないからってんで、ばあ様あたりが作り出した脅し話だって聞いてる。違うのか？
いえ、違いません。その通りです。ベアトリーチェ様は六軒島の森に住まわれる魔女であらせられます。
バトラ様、にわかには信じられないでしょうが、ベアトリーチェ様は存在するのです。親方様に莫大な黄金を授け、長いことおそばにお仕えした実在する方なのです。
はあよせやいよせやい。じい様の受け売りを言うのも給料のうちだってのか？
Yeah, I'm sorry, Battler. It's you came here looking for some kind of thing to grasp onto, but all you will find here is the supernatural, which is not helpful. In this case, at least yet. I laughed it like it was a joke. But neither Genji-san nor Kanon-kun laughed. Not even Kumasawa-bachan, who avoided my eyes, flustered and started washing the utensils. So unfortunately, I was the only one laughing. Painfully. Bitterly. Yeah. No easy escape.
なるほど。源氏さんが断るだけはあるぜ。こいつは確かに正気じゃ気を悪くする。
Kinda hard to exact a revenge on someone who's tied to the supernatural and yeah. There was no motive, it was just magic, a ritual. Or I guess there was a motive and that was something to do with the game. Defying fate and yeah.
つまりベアトリーチェっていう名の人物は実在するんだな。
はい。親方様がこの島にお屋敷を構える以前からずっとお仕えしている方でございます。
Yeah, she had been hired as the alchemist or something.
おそらく私よりも長くお仕えしているでしょう。
なんてこった。キリエさんの仮説は外れたな。
It doesn't need to be off. It can still be right if she exists only in non-corporeal forms and can only appear by possessing someone. But I guess in that sense it's still a 19th person.
じい様にベアトリーチェという名の腹心は実在したってわけだ。そいつは今この島にいるんだな。
はい。いらっしゃっていると思います。
曖昧な言い方だな。ってことは昨日今日そいつの顔を見たってわけじゃなさそうだな。
はい。大変申し上げがたいのですが、その。
Kanan-kun once again dropped his gaze, avoiding my eyes.
なんだよ、そこで切るなよ。
Yeah, give us the lore drop, please. I'm dying over here.
鮮度目みたいで気持ち悪いぜ。
I urged him on, jokingly. However, it looked like Kanan-kun was still unsure as to whether he should speak or not. Then Kumasawa-bachan whispered.
お顔を見ようにも、ベアトリーチェ様にはお姿がありませんから。
That makes sense.
お姿がなんだって？
ベアトリーチェ様にはお体がありません。
It's good to get that kind of at least half confirmation, because it comes from people who I would believe wouldn't lie in this situation and fully believe in Beatrice. So yeah, it's nice to get some solid info on her more. No body. I guess at least one of my ideas was right.
ですから、ベアトリーチェ様がお望みにならない限り、私ども凡庸ではお姿を見ることすら叶いません。
Okay, so not quite right, yeah. She can have a form if she wishes, so, or she has a form always, but she can just make it so that other people don't see it. Yeah, okay, fair. Kind of like targeted invisibility.
ベアトリーチェ様が人の姿をされていた頃の絵が、あの肖像画のものなのだとか。そのお姿を懐かしみ、よく肖像画の前に佇まれているそうな。
Yearning for her old form. Okay, so I'm bouncing back to the other idea. Maybe she doesn't have a normal form, human form like shown in the picture. Okay.
ベアトリーチェ様は時折、輝く蝶の姿に身を変えられて現れることがあります。
True and real has happened.
万一、お屋敷の中でお見かけした場合には、決してその後を追ってはならない決まりです。
So at some point, Battler will chase after them.
追えば不幸があると囁かれています。その禁を破り、大怪我をして辞めた使用人も実際にいます。
おいおい、マジかよ。あんたら、本気でそんな話をしているのかよ。
バトラス様、すでにベアトリーチェ様がお越しになっておられます。
I'm reading this as if it just means that she has generally arrived at the island or around the mansion, but it would be really fun, really exciting if this means that no, Beatrice just arrived in this room. She's behind you.
そのようなお言葉はよろしくないかと思われます。
ベアトリーチェ様はご自身を冒涜される方を好みません。
Yeah.
その存在を疑えば必ずや不幸が降りかかるでしょう。
バトラさん、気持ちの悪いお話とお思いでしょ。ですがね、ベアトリーチェ様はいるんですよ。
Exist in quotation marks because of the no physical form thing.
います。それを疑われることを、ベアトリーチェ様はことのほか嫌われます。
You know who else this very much dislikes having that idea being called into question? Maria?
わかりませんか、バトル様。ベアトリーチェ様は今すでに。
おいおい、よせよ。俺、そういうのは弱いんだぜ。
Well, too bad. Doubly so because you're the main character. Actually, Beatrice is probably equally a main character, even though we haven't really seen her physically outside of butterflies.
脅しっこなしにしろい。
However, there was no trace of a joke in the eyes of the three servants. On the surface, I laughed and tried to look unconcerned, but I was quickly starting to sober up. Their eyes were also sobering up fast.
バトラさん、お願いですから、ベアトリーチェ様を冒涜することはおやめください。悪いことは申し上げません。
Kumasawa-bachan, who was usually cheerful and would always tease people, now spoke with a totally straight face that I had never known her to make. Yeah, her eyes are very dead serious.
Yeah.
The dark line under the eye. Very nice touch.
いるって言われてもよ。俺には何も見えないぜ。今、俺の隣にいるとでも言うのかよ。
Oh, come on, game. I know you want to say yes.
冗談よせやい。
Hello. Yeah? Hello, Maria? Stipification. Just then, that unnerving laugh suddenly filled the kitchen. Hello there. When I turned around, Maria was standing there by the entrance. But her expression and the feeling about her, her presence, felt exactly the same as the servants.
波長の合う合わないは生まれつきだよ。
Yeah, this feels like a totally different personality, which makes me more think that it's like a possession thing.
バトラは生まれつき波長が合わないタイプなんだよ。
God, I do love the personality flip so much.
だから見えない。会えない。話せない。
Yeah, sucks to be you, Battler. I know, or I don't know, but like, I assume that eventually Battler will be able to meet Beatrice and talk to her and whatnot, but it would be really insanely interesting if we went the whole game without Battler ever interacting or directly talking to Beatrice or confronting her in any way. Just chasing shadows. That would be a really fun concept.
ベアトリーチェの一番嫌いなタイプだよ。
Oof. Maria's laugh sounded like she was greatly enjoying herself, yet it was extremely eerie. Yeah, very much so. But I'm enjoying it. It was almost like she was laughing at me because I alone didn't understand.
ベアトリーチェのことが知りたい？ベアトリーチェはね、1000年の魔女なんだよ。
Okay, 1000-year-old.
あらゆる悪魔を刺激し、錬金術を極め、賢者の石を生み出し、莫大な黄金を生み出すことができる。
Interesting.
おじいさまは彼女と契約することで、後ろ宮家に莫大な富を築いたんだよ。昨日私がベアトリーチェの手紙を読んだでしょ？あれは本当なんだよ。ま、バトラに信じろと言っても無理な話だろうけど。
And the personality flip is so real because like earlier on she was like she was easily like made to believe that Battler actually believes in Beatrice, and she was like, ooh, yeah, sure, okay, good that you believe. But now she's like, yeah, I know you don't believe in her.
六感が生まれつきさっぱりみたいだからね。
なんだよそれ。魔女？悪魔？
Welcome to the supernatural.
そんなの誰に聞いたんだよ。
ベアトリーチェ本人に聞いたんだよ。
Maria kept doing that unpleasant laugh skill issue. Learn to like it. However, the servants who watched over this didn't even blink. She heard it from that witch in the portrait adorning the entrance hall. Maria kept on laughing in a weird voice, as though this was nothing more or less than the truth.
Maria, 聞くだけ野暮だろうが、もう一回聞くぜ。昨日、マリアにあの手紙を渡したのは誰だ？
ベアトリーチェにもらったって何度言えばわかるかな？わかんないよね。見えないんだもんね。信じられないもんね。
She sounds so smug and I love it. Just then, Maria's laughter suddenly stopped. Did it? Okay, sure.
バトラ。
Oh, yeah.
まだわかんない？ベアトリーチェがいるのが。
いるって、どこにさ？
だから、ベアトリーチェがここにいるのが。
That's right. Was that left over? Nope. That's right. Now that I think about it, I've been feeling for some time now that the others haven't been looking in quite the right direction. Oh no, she's actually in this room. I'd figured that everyone had just been gazing into the distance, but that wasn't the case. The four here, Genji-san, Kanan-kun, Kumasawa-san, and Maria. Everyone except me was looking at the spot right behind me. Oh my god. Come on, game, don't do this. Holding my breath tightly, I slowly looked over my shoulder. Of course, there wasn't anyone there. I've known that the whole time. However, everyone in the room except me was focusing on that point, as if there was someone there.
ベアトリーチェは1000年を生きた偉大な黄金の魔女。でも波長の合う人間にしか自分の姿を見せられないし、話しかけられない。だからね、それがとても悲しいんだよ。
I see.
だからバトラみたいな生まれつき魔法のセンスもかけらのない人に存在を否定されるのがものすごく嫌いなんだよ。
Yeah, I can understand that point of view.
バトラは幸運だよ。昨日私にお守りをもらっていてよかったね。それを身につけていなかったら、今頃ベアトリーチェのどんな呪いが身に及んでいたか分かったものじゃない。本当に幸運なんだよ、バトラは。
ああ、あのサソリのキーホルダーかよ。
And before he threw it away. Oh, sorry.
あれって安っぽい景品か何かだと思ってたんだが、ちとはご利益あったってことなのか？
それがなかったら今頃バトラがあの倉庫の中で顔面を砕かれて生贄にされていたんだよ。幸運だったよ、バトラは。
Totally unfazed or uninterested in people dying, but I guess she knows that everyone will be revived at the very end.
そうか。あれがなかったら、俺は今頃殺されてた。
What if everyone had one of them?
なんでバトラはベアトリーチェを信じないの？いるのに。今そこにほら。ね、信じる気になったでしょ？信じなよ。マリアにお守りをもらったことを感謝しながら。あれがなければバトラは今頃倉庫の中。 代わりに誰か一人が助かっていたかもしれないね。
Right then, I burst into laughter. Sure, dude, sure. Playing witches had been pretty fun up until a second ago, but unfortunately, that last one didn't quite hit the mark. Yet that's the one where you burst into laughter. Okay.
じゃあ全然ダメだぜマリア。ってことなら悪いが、全然ダメだ。
When Maria saw me suddenly start laughing, she stopped. Yeah, I would too. Even though she didn't understand what I was laughing at, she realized it wouldn't be pleasant for her.
お前が傷つくだろうと思ったから、俺黙ってたけどよ。
So, did you actually throw it away?
お前にもらったお守りよ。俺、ポケットに入れたつもりだったんだけどよ。どっかに落っことしちまったんだぜ。
Brutal. Brutal.
だから俺が今この瞬間に無事なのはお守りのおかげでもねえし。なら魔女様の呪いがあって当然なのに、今この瞬間もピンピンしてる。悪いが、俺は自分の目で見たものしか信じね
え。Yeah, I can believe that.
第6巻波長魔法のセンス悪いが俺はそういう眉唾なもんは一切信じねえぜ。
Also, I think it's a different base word and a different kanji altogether, but like the fact that sixth sense starts with Rokkan, or is like Rokkan, and then this island is named Rokkenjima. It's like those words sound very close to each other, but I'm sure they have different kanji and different base words.
クラスの女が霊感がいいの悪いのって言い出すのを聞いてると虫唾が走るのさ。あんたらがいくらじい様に給料もらってるか知らねえが、俺を妙な宗教に勧誘しようったってそう簡単にはいかねえってことをよく肝に銘じておきやがるってんだ。
Okay, buddy, okay.
バトラ様、
カノン君たちが信じるのは自由だぜ。
I wonder if the sacrifices that Beatrice chose were chosen randomly by the magic circle, or if she herself made the choices deliberately. Because like why would she have not targeted Battler? I guess Maria is wrong about Beatrice then, and Beatrice actually has interest in Battler beyond just hating his guts. But if it was random, then, you know.
だが、俺が信じるかどうかは常に俺が自分で決める。
Okay, dude. Okay.
悪いがこの目で見るまで、ベアトリーチェなんてうさんくさいものの存在を信じるわけにはいかないぜ。
I spoke forcefully and sharply. When I did, Maria started cackling again, okay? I thought for a second that Maria had lost the control of this scene, but nope, still has it.
ならそれでいいんじゃない？いずれお前のような波長が全然合わない人の目にもベアトリーチェは見えるようになる。
Why? Is this whole ritual game thing you're doing for the sake of making Beatrice visible to everyone, or?
もうじき蘇るんだよ。
Right, okay. So that's what the revive is about.
ベアトリーチェはね。
Yeah, because I was kind of confused because they did obviously say revive, but then they've also been describing that she is already here, but yeah. Okay, so less revive, more incarnate.
そうしたら一緒にいっぱいお話をしたり遊んだりしようって約束してるんだよ。疑う必要も無理に信じる必要も全くない。現れるんだよ、もうじきね。
Will appear very soon. Yeah, on the 9th twilight, the witch revives, and none shall be left alive. Okay. Yeah, I'm really curious about this whole thing now, because we only have 8 episodes, but there's 10 twilights here. I don't know. Okay. Nervous. Are we in chapter 12? Yeah. Some people usually head to the bathroom after a meal. Others prefer to take a short nap. It seemed that several people had gone out of the parlor, just like I did when I went to the kitchen to drink some water. Alright, she has a fucking shotgun. In the end, Aunt Natsuhi's order to keep everyone packed together in the parlor was reluctantly withdrawn under the condition that no one was to be on their own, and no one was to go far from the parlor. After all, if 11 people are shut up in the same room starting early in the morning, the air will start to stagnate. And now that a little time had passed, everyone had started to recover from the shock of that morning. Maybe their sense of danger was weakening over time too. Maybe. However, it was a certain fact that 6 people had been killed inside this mansion. So no one was completely negligent. So when they went out into the hallway for a breath of fresh air, trying to act tough, they would get scared of standing there, isolated, and would end up returning to the parlor. Like that fable. You know, the north wind and the sun. I don't. If you force someone to stay shut in, they'll resist. But if you tell them to do whatever they want, they'll come back obediently. Okay, sure. I don't know if I subscribe to that belief, but I've certainly heard that saying come out of the mouths of multiple old-fashioned anime dads. You'll come back to me. They'll come back to me. Or something along those lines. People sure are hypocrites. When the servants finished cleaning up from the meal, they returned obediently to the parlor, just as Aunt Natsuhi had told them to, and sat in a sofa near the entrance, patiently awaiting orders. Maria, almost as though she had suddenly finished playing witches, had returned to the pure Maria I knew well, saying ooh ooh. Again, my nature darkness. Okay, sure. What in the world was that back there? I hadn't even felt an atom of the presence of this person called Beatrice, supposedly standing behind me, invisible. However, it felt like inside Maria, I could catch a glimpse of a little of that presence.
確かにマリアちゃんは魔女とかの話になると人が変わるね。
That she does.
昨日海岸でバトラ君も見たでしょ。
サソリのキーホルダーの時か？いや、あんな機嫌を損ねるみたいな感じじゃなくてよ。まるでその二重人格みたいな感じで。
Yeah.
ああ、たまにそういうこともあるな。さっきマリアが魔法陣の話を始めた時みたいなやつ、たまーにあるぜ。気持ち悪いけどな。
Apparently, according to Jessica, the laughing Maria shows up every now and then. This was just bad timing, and furthermore, it was the first time I'd seen it, so it really shocked me. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's just good game design, withholding the info on that, because Battler didn't know about it.
あれってのは何なんだ？マリアは二重人格か何かなのか？それとも本当に霊感が強かったりとかして、そういうのに憑依されたりとかしちまうのかよ。
そういうのじゃないと思うよ。
Okay.
バトラ君にも経験ない？小さい頃自分以外の誰かになりたかったなんてこと。
Right when humans are born, no one has any individuality. However, when they reach their growth period and their sense of self starts to be born, they start to gain a sense of individuality. They want to be different from other people. But of course, they will find that they're no different from the others in their class, since they are learning the same thing in school and forced into the same lifestyle. When they realize that, they start off by breaking the rules in what's called the rebellious age. Okay, sure. Since everyone follows the rules, they want to show off their individuality by breaking them. Even those who call everyone around them babies and stir up trouble are just cute kids searching for themselves when you look at them this way. Yeah, I can follow that, yeah, sure. Well, I'm lecturing about all this like I'm so smart, but I actually got it secondhand from George Aniki. I myself was one of those embarrassing guys who thought it was cool to act like a little bastard. Well, that was when I was the age where you try standing out for the opposite sex.
成長期の根底には子供から脱却したいというひよこが殻を破るのに似た衝動がある。子供と大人の違いは何かわかるかい？
年齢？
Of course, of course that would be. I mean, sure, you're not wrong.
それとも体格？
違うよ。経験だよ。大人が子供を見下すのは人生経験が少ないからだよ。子供が何を言っても鼻で笑ってしまうのは世間知らずのくせにと見下しているからだよ。
Oops. Relatable.
ああ、そういうのわかるぜ。子供の頃って妙に人生ってもう悟りきったようなことを口にして年長しゃぶりたくなるよな。
Yep. And then later on in life you're just silently looking at people, not saying anything, but inside of you you're like, yeah, I know, I was like that too. I know you think you know, but you don't know yet. And that just keeps on looping and happening every time you get older. Like right now, I think I have everything figured out, but in 5 years, I'm like, yeah, look at those 27-year-olds. They think they're all the hot shit and think they got shit figured out, but they don't know yet.
大人は子供が何を言っても世の中甘くないとか社会に出ればわかるとか鼻で笑ってる。まあ実際そうなんだけど、子供的にはそういうのって見下されてるみたいでムカつくんだよな。
You'd pout. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to not do that even silently inside you. It's just like, I don't know, almost automatic. Like, yeah, sure. You do you. How cute.
なるほどな。知識や経験の有無か。確かに年齢だけ無駄に食ってても尊敬はされねえよな。
となるとつまり子供から脱却したいという衝動を持つ時期にかつ他者とは違うという個性を持ちたくなる。子供からの脱却がつまり知識や経験なのだとしたら。
なるほど。他人の持ち得ない知識を持つことが一つのアイデンティティになるわけか。
Sure.
小学校の頃なんかさ、クラスの誰も知らないことを知っていたり持っていたり身につけていたりするとヒーローになれたよな。バトラもそういう経験あるだろ？
あるある。何か一芸に秀でたいと思うお年頃って確かにあるな。なるほど。それが子供からの脱却、つまり成長期ってわけか。
健全な意味での成長期はそうして没個性を脱却するために人が持たない知識やスキルを身につけることを促す。これは社会学的にも面白いことだよ。人が没個性を嫌うために人と違う技術を身につけようとする。これにより社会は幅広い技術を獲得して立脚する。神々の高度なプログラミングに驚かされるね。
Interesting choice of word, but sure.
まあ個性がネガティブに働くこともあるぜ。クラスみんなが真剣に勉強してるから俺だけはサボって目立とうとかよ。
Whoops, don't call me out. That was actually me. Wait, that was actually me. It was only recently that I'd finally been able to feel thankful towards that middle school teacher who had slapped me after school.
でもまあ誰も飛べない飛び箱を飛んでやりたいとか成績のいい連中を周回遅れにさせてやるぜってマラソンで全力疾走とか、そういう気持ちはあったな。勉強はダメだったから少なくとも運動では見返してやるぜって根性はあった。なるほど。ちゃんと成長期してるな俺。
男子ってやっぱり肉体的な方面に関心が向くよな。
At least Battler. I don't think it's true for every guy.
でもよ、同じ時期に女子は精神的な面に向きやすいんだよ。
Sure.
バトラのクラスの女子にも占いとか霊感とかそんなこと言ってる女子連中のグループがあったりしただろ？
あったあった。人の星座とか血液型とか聞いてきて、やっぱりクスクスとか笑われると大いにムカついたもんだぜ。どこのクラスに行っても女子は占いが好きだし、決まって霊感に強いだの弱いだの、感受性がどうこう、見えないものが見えちまうだの、そういう手合いが必ずいたもんだぜ。
占いも霊感も学校では教えないものだからね。男の子と違い内向的な世界に関心を持ちやすい女の子にとってそれはアイデンティティを確立しやすくてかつ興味深いジャンルなんだよ。
男子が成長期に入ると急に悪ぶったりして大人に反抗を始めるのと全く同じに、女子も成長期に入るとそういうのに興味が出るようになるんだよ。
Sure.
私はそうでもなかったけどさ。
つまりマリアがオカルトに関心を持つのは年頃の女の子としてはそう珍しくもないってことか。
Well, I don't know. Usually it stops at the fortune telling, and it rarely goes into actual black magic. Even if you accept that, I wonder if it explains that creepy dual personality thing. Well, I think I can accept it vaguely.
さっきも言った通り、大人になるというのは知識や経験を持つことを言う。だからそれを得るために子供たちはいろいろなことを学んで子供を脱却しなければならないんだけど、子供の世界に今も昔もはびこっているある便利な妄想があるんだよ。
Chuunibyou or
わかるかい？
漫画やアニメに多いだろ。ほらあれだよ、前世の記憶が蘇ってとか、偉大なるなんとかの魂が乗り移ってとか。
ああ、他にも遺伝子が覚醒したりとか、封印されていた能力やら記憶やらが戻ったりとか、いろいろあるな。
Yeah, this is probably the most common field powers.
どういうわけか、あの時期はそういうのがやたらと流行るもんさ。どうしてだ？
今挙げたキーワードは全て子供の自分に知識や経験を直ちに付加できる幻想だからだよ。9歳の女の子も1000年を生きた魔女が私に憑依していると言い出せば、1009歳のアイデンティティが得られるわけだからね。
まあつまり勉強するのは面倒くさい。でも人とは違うスキルを持って周りに威張りたい、ちやほやされたいっていう連中にとっては便利な妄想なんだよな。
Sure. So you can brag about something without having to work hard or study. I see. Isn't that a kid's greatest dream?
あとは子供からの脱却願望には必ず自分の理想像の自己投影が行われ、その願望の姿が別人格として形成されることが少なくない。
Sure.
バトラ君だって家と学校では多少キャラクターが違うということがあるんじゃないかな。
Regarding this kind of a thing, this whole Chuunibyou idea, there's a very interesting anime and light novel about it. I'm not talking about the obvious one, which would be Chuunibyou de Makoika Shitai, or but the other one, which is it does a more unique twist because it's parody, but it's also like not parody. That would be Kage no Jichirokyosha ni Naritakute, or Eminence in the Shadow. I would highly recommend that one. It does interesting things with the concept of Chuunibyou and yeah, the tropes associated with it.
多分家での自分の姿をクラスの友人たちに見せるのは恥ずかしいはずだよ。学校の自分は自分のなりたい姿の投影で、家の自分は本来の姿だから。
つまりキャラクターの使い分けというか、人格の多重化はごくごく当たり前だと言いたいわけか。
Well, I don't know about that. I don't think I've ever really met anyone like that in real life. So probably not, but you could say that in this age of internet and whatnot, you can form any kind of anonymous personality, so it's way more easy to like create a fake personality. And I guess in the same vein, like many YouTubers having their so-called YouTube personality, which is usually, well, not usually, but often very different from what they are actually like on like outside the camera or recording session. There's actually another great story that goes into that kind of topic. actually two very different in styles. One being Oshinoko and the other being Serial Experience Lane. Would recommend watching both if you're interested in that kind of thing.
オカルトが好きな女子はそれを憑依と言ったり覚醒と言ったりするぜ。正直ドン引きするくらいにキャラを変える子もいるよ。男子にもいるだろ。キレたとか言ってやたらめったら粗暴キャラに変身するやつが。
Okay, sure. Yeah, I can. Yeah, getting violent or yeah. I've definitely seen that in I remember that happening in like middle school or something. Like you would have the quiet kid, but then suddenly they'd get more aggressive when pushed too far or teased too much or bullied, and I don't know. They would either like get pissed off for real, or they would just like puff out their chest really hard. Yeah.
あれ、本人はかっこいいと思ってるんだろうけど、見てて痛いよな。
And yeah, on the other side of that too, the other ones doing it to the quiet kids, bullies or whatever, the quote unquote cool kids and tough kids, yeah. They also over exaggerate things and yeah. Sure. I think it's pretty cool, but it's painful to watch. Yeah.
つまりおさらいするとだ。マリアくらいの年頃の女の子がさっきみたいな不気味な二重人格のようなものを見せてもそれほど珍しいものじゃないと言いたいのか?
To a lesser extent, yeah. I don't see it manifest that harshly in others. Like exaggerating yourself, sure, but like being different to that degree, so I don't see it too often, except in anonymous online personalities and YouTuber personalities, funnily enough, where people try to be really hype, but in reality they're just the quietest person ever.
簡単にまとめるとそういうことだね。アイデンティティは自己を形成するための大切なもの。それをバカにしたりするとかえってその殻に閉じこもってしまうこともある。だからほどほどに付き合ってあげるのが大切なんだよ。それを丸ごと受け入れてあげるのが親の包容力というものなんだけどね。
兄貴、それで独身って信じられねえぜ。
Kind of a poor choice of words there, considering what just happened.
もう子供が中学くらいに上がってそうな貫禄さ。じゃあ、ローザおばさんもあのマリアの二重人格についてはよく知っていたのかな？
知ってたぜ。ここだけの話、ローザおばさんはすっごく嫌がってた。
Yeah, we learned about this during the rainy scene.
気持ち悪いし、クラスでますます孤立を深めるだけだって。だからマリアがオカルトの話を始めたり、魔女みたいな声で笑い出したりすると必ずビンタしてたぜ。だからマリアもローザおばさんがいる時にはそういう話をしないようになったみたいだけど。
Damn. Maybe it was just a little game from a girl facing her growing period. That thing that happened back there. Just a girl trying to show that she was different and independent by holding interest in witches and the occult. I mean, sure, we can try to rationalize it this way, but considering this is a game, it's probably an actually different thing, and it's just Maria actually having a crazy other personality going on or something wild like that. And since she wanted to have another side to herself that wasn't infantile, she was switching between her normal personality and the personality of her ideal, which in the beginning I had found that very disturbing. But after George Aniki's lecture, it felt like this was a path that everyone walked down at one time or another. Yeah, we can certainly think of this whole Maria double personality this way. Yeah, let's keep this idea as the as our main belief, and put the other idea that it's actually a separate personality with something to do with witches as our secondary idea in the bag. I haven't told anyone, but when I was in kindergarten, I joined up with a little gang of kids trying to form a Earth Defense Force, saying we'd help protect peace on Earth. I mean, that's just a general idea about what are they called? The Japanese version of Power Rangers. Whatever it is, I forgot. My face turns red when I remember how, during what we called battle practice, we wouldn't chant EDF, or we would chant EDF. Just like usual, Maria was relaxing, immersed in the TV, oohing and laughing just like any girl her age. But on the inside, another personality, that of the ideal witch that she admired and blindly accepted, was sleeping. But that wasn't anything extraordinary. It was perfectly natural for a girl of her age. Sure. I calmed down a little. I had started to recover from the shock of my bizarre experience in the kitchen, and that's when you think you're done being all tense and you can start finally relaxing. That's the best place to surprise you with something. So let's see if anything happens here or if it is just a chapter end. If I hadn't talked to Aniki and Jessica, I might still have been frightened by the idea that an invisible witch was standing right behind me. I swear if they're gonna show Beatrice right behind him, looking at him. However, can I really accept that as an explanation of what happened back there? If it had just been Maria, I could have explained it as the fickle fantasies of a growing girl. But Genji-san, Kanan-kun, and Kumasawa-bachan had also been there. None of them had denied what Maria said. They had silently accepted that Beatrice exists. I was starting to feel a little uneasy. Auntie Ava had claimed that no 19th person exists, saying that someone within the family had committed the crime in connection with their messy quarrel. On the other hand, Aunt Natsuhi had claimed that the culprit was hiding somewhere outside the mansion. That meant that she was denying that the crime had been committed by one of us, and accepting that a 19th person exists. And in the kitchen, Maria and the servants had agreed that a 19th person exists. But according to them, this 19th person isn't human. They had said that it was an invisible witch plotting something mysterious. Is there a 19th person or not? And is the culprit a human or a witch? For some reason, I couldn't just laugh off any of the possibilities. Not even the most ridiculous one about the witch. That's That's quite the stark difference from what you declared to Maria in the kitchen. Chapter end or no?
Jessica.
How long do I have left? Yeah, I can probably go and do one scene.
ベアトリーチェの話ってのは、俺の認識では森に子供たちが迷い込まないようにってんで作った大人の脅し話だってことになってんだが、この屋敷じゃ違うのか？
私もバトラと同じ意見だぜ。
Yeah.
こんなのは子供に言うことを聞かせるために親が作った間抜けな階段だと思ってる。でもそうだと口にはできない空気が屋敷内にあることは否めないな。
おじい様がベアトリーチェは存在すると公言されているからね。使用人たちは立場上それを疑えないし、クラウスおじさんたちもおじい様と喧嘩がしたいわけもないから、表向きは口を揃えてる。だから多分このお屋敷ではベアトリーチェの存在を疑うことはある種のタブーだと思うんだよ。年に一度しか来ない僕たちと違ってね。そうでしょ。
Jessica puffed out air in admiration. It looked like Aniki had guessed right.
ジョージ兄さんの言う通りだぜ。みんな腹の中じゃ信じてるわけじゃない。でも表向きはその存在を認めてる。ほら、神様の存在を認めるようなそんな雰囲気だよ。実際にはいないことを知ってても、それを口に出して否定したら野暮みたいな空気だな。
使用人たちの間ではどういうことになってんだ？
That is the question of the hour.
やっぱり雇い主のじい様がいるって言ってんだから、それに口を合わせてるわけか？
さあ、詳しくはわからないけど、使用人たちの間ではベアトリーチェの話はある種の怪談扱いになってるよ。ほら、昨日海岸でシャノンが話してくれたろ。夜見回りをしている時、不気味な何かを見かけたとか、そういう話。
She had said something like that, hadn't she? Back then, I didn't give it much thought, assuming she was just going along with the displeased Maria. But now that I think about it, she did say that, and completely seriously. That's right. She definitely said it. She definitely said the same kind of thing that Genji-san and the rest had all unanimously declared back in the kitchen.
他にも鬼火や輝く蝶々が舞っているのを見たという使用人も。カノン君もそれらしいものを以前夜の見回りの時に見たことがあると言ってました。あと最近ではお屋敷の中で深夜に不思議な足音をよく聞くと使用人の間で話題です。私たちは肖像画の中のベアトリーチェ様が姿を消してお屋敷の中を散歩しているんだろうと囁き合ってるんですよ。
Okay. Would the footsteps be audible to people who are not on the same wavelength? Because Battler didn't sense anything, but obviously Beatrice, if she was in the room, could have just stayed still and not made any sound.
ずいぶん前ですが、私もそうかもしれない足音を夜の見回りの時に聞いたことがあります。
Okay. That's right. She definitely said that. I swear if this game is gaslighting, like inserting a fake scene here that didn't happen before, and it's just gaslighting me into believing that Shannon said that, that would be hilarious. I don't remember the exact conversation from before. I remember something about something about Will-O-Wisps, sure. Exactly the same thing that I had been told just now.
でも、怯えることはないんですよ。
Yeah?
ベアトリーチェ様は親方様とは異なるもう一人のお屋敷の主です。だから変に怯えたりしないで敬意を持っていれば決して悪いことはしないのだそうです。
ただし敬意を持たないと恐ろしいんだったね。
はい。私が務めを始める直前に階段を転がり落ちて腰に大怪我をして辞めた方はベアトリーチェ様のことを悪く言っていたそうです。
Okay, this I think I remember, yeah.
だから使用人たちはベアトリーチェ様のお怒りに触れたのだろうと噂し合ったそうです。
敬わないとお怒りに触れて怪我をする。つまり使用人たちにとってベアトリーチェって存在はお稲荷さんにいたずらしたらお狐様のたたりがあるってくらいには信憑性があるわけだ。
Mm-hmm. Sure. Let's check those tips out. Even though they're kind of familiar to me, but still. Inari and the Kitsune. Inari is the Shinto god of foxes, agriculture, fertility, rice, tea, and sake, and is one of the most revered and major of the Shinto gods. Inari is depicted differently by time and place, and may be male, female, or even a plurality of gods. Over a third of Japan's Shinto shrines are dedicated to Inari, and feature torii and statues of kitsune. The kitsune are white foxes that are Inari's benevolent messengers, but they can be malicious and bring about grave disasters. Sure. Of course, even though everyone accepts that curses and the like don't exist in the modern era, people are still afraid and still have a little respect for them. You see it a lot even in residential areas, such as when someone is building a house and they call a Shinto priest for a ceremony to honor the god of that plot of land. I might have heard of that, but I'm not sure if Battler is just gaslighting me into believing something once again. But yeah, I think I might have heard of that kind of a thing. You might think that's just a big waste of time and money. Actually, I think the Trash Taste podcast also talked about that at some point. But the workers say that a big accident will occur if they don't do it, so they apparently never neglect the procedure. You also hear about how if an Inari shrine is carelessly removed during a town replanning, there would be a curse by Kitsune-sama. I think I might have read somewhere that when the occupying forces were trying to expand an airport and had to remove an Inari-san that was in the way, all of the workers were suddenly taken out by some mysterious fever. Even in modern cities like Tokyo, it isn't rare to see modern buildings packed all around an old Inari shrine, leaving the shrine itself untouched. And this isn't limited to Japan. It's probably similar to how people baptized babies. If I remember correctly, by the Christian doctrine, unbaptized souls, though their sin is the lightest, still fulfill the condition for going to hell. I am not up to date with religion, at least a Christian religion, so I can't remember. Putting water on a child's forehead doesn't do anything but make them cry. But if a parent can prevent their child from going to hell with just that little effort, they will happily go through with that ceremony. In short, even in this modern society of reason, we are still unable to throw away every trace of belief and fear. You could say that it's a passive acceptance of the supernatural. Maybe the only difference on this island was that Beatrice was the name that was respected here.
じゃあ、つまり、この島で、とても人間技とは思えない何かが起これば、それはベアトリーチェの仕業だ。となるわけか。シャノンちゃんも言ってた気がするな。ちゃんと閉めたはずの窓や扉や鍵が、もう一度見回りに来たら開いていたとか、消したはずの明かりがついていたり、つけたはずの明かりが消えていたりとか。んで、確かジェシカは、朝出かけようとしたら、カバンが見つからないのもベアトリーチェの仕業だってふざけてたんだよな。
よく覚えてるな。普通なら妖精さんが隠したとでも言うところが、この島ではベアトリーチェがになるってだけの話だぜ。
Sure.
ま、そんなくだらない話さ。
このお屋敷も築30年くらいになるそうだからね。
Yeah.
それだけになれば多少の怪談やオカルトは生まれてくるものだよ。
Yeah, sure. I wonder if there's any importance on the year and length of time the mansion has been built, because I think this is now like the 4th or 5th time they've mentioned the mansion's conception time, or like how long it's been around.
学校の七不思議なんかのようにね。
そこでチェス盤をひっくり返すぜ。
Sure.
つまりこの島では人間にはできないことはベアトリーチェの仕業と置き換えることができるルールがあるってわけだ。
Okay, go on. I'm following.
人間にはできないこと。人間は何人だ？ 18人だ。
Okay, yeah.
つまり犯人はこの島のルールにのっとってこの事件は魔女の仕業だとアピールしてることになる。
Yeah, but we kind of had assumed that already.
つまりそれは19人目の仕業ですよと訴えたくて仕方がないわけだ。
Yeah.
気に入らねえぜ。全然気に入らねえ。
Like you are saying that this is definitely just an 18th person pretending to be a 19th person. But, you know, this kind of a rabbit hole can go endlessly on, because, you know, you can take it always one layer deeper and say it's the 19th person pretending to be an 18th person pretending that it's a 19th person. And so on, so on,
気
so
に入
on.
らないって何？
仮
Oh,
に
sorry.
不可視の19人目が存在してそいつが自分の存在をアピールしたいなら、
Mm-hmm.
俺ならもっと完璧なタイミングでやるぜ。
Ah, I see. Okay.
完璧なタイミングでってのはどういう意味だい？
ああ。だって事件は深夜から未明にかけて起こったの？深夜まで話し合いをしてたり夜勤をしてたり、あるいは部屋に帰って寝ていたり、どいつもこいつもアリバイがあやふやで十分内部犯行が疑える段階だ。
Right. So it would have been better to make it look like the work of a 19th person if the crime was done in a situation like this where everyone was here at once.
ジョージの兄貴もエヴァおばさんに聞かされてるんだろ？内部犯行の可能性が高いって話。
うん。まあね。
つまり不可視の19人目が実在したなら最初の事件は自分のアピールに失敗してるんだ。
Yeah?
いや、そもそも時間帯がミステイクだ。不可視の19人目をアピールするためには、死んだ6人以外の12人が全員白であることが確定している状況下で行われなければならない。疑わしい人間がゼロにならなきゃ自分の存在をアピールできないんだよ。だから全員のアリバイが一番あやふやになる深夜の時間帯は19人目にとって自分が一番あやふやになる時間帯でもある。にもかかわらずその時間を選んで犯行に及んだ。
そんな時間に犯行を起こせば18人の誰かが疑われるのは明白。にもかかわらずマリアに手紙を渡して魔女を名乗り、誰もが自分でないと否定している。
つまりベアトリーチェという19人目がいるように見せかけたい人間が18人の中にいると、こう言いたいのかよ。なんだかぶっ飛んだ発想だな。まだおふくろの屋敷の外に不審者が潜んでいるって話の方が信憑性があるってもんだぜ。
What should that be the actual solution to this whole thing?
まさかバトラはこの客間の中に犯人がいると疑っているのかよ。
ああ、何者かが俺たちにベアトリーチェが存在すると認めさせようとしている。
I think we could find another reason why the murders were done that way. Let me just Google one thing. Nothing game. No keywords relating to this game. Yeah, it's just it simply could be like the best time to do it would be in the middle of the night. I googled witching hour. In folklore, the witching hour or devil's hour is a time of night that is associated with supernatural events whereby witches, demons, and ghosts are thought to appear and be at their most powerful. Definitions vary and include the hour immediately after midnight and the time between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. That's from Wikipedia. Yeah, so it could simply be as simple as that. It happened in the night because that was the most convenient time to do it, or like that was the appropriate time to do it, and doesn't have anything to do with motives of making or wanting to make it seem like it is or isn't a 19th person.
そうさ。昨べのあの手紙からもう事件は始まっていたんだ。証拠も根拠も何もねえけどな。チェス盤を逆さにした限りじゃ、俺の見立てはこんなところだ。
ぶっ飛びまくってるにも程があるぜ。
I really want Battler to go like really zone in and really lock in and really get a one-track mind and follow down a specific rabbit hole and go even crazier with the theories, and in the end it's revealed that it is actually the most simplest of solutions, and we were just led on a wild goose chase the whole time.
妙な推理小説の読みすぎじゃねえのかよ。
Yeah, Ryukishi here poking fun at themselves.
でも無視できない着眼点もあるね。19人目がいるかいないかは別にしても、その犯人は確実にこの島のルールにのっとって何かを仕掛けてきている。
I mean, there is always the off chance that it's just a coincidence, or they want you to think that, but in actuality it was just a murder based on, I don't know, the pure instinct of wanting to kill due to your grudge. But yeah, I would say more than likely it is relating to the rule, or based on things planning to do things based on the rule, yeah, or the prophecy.
僕はね、 今バトラ君の話を聞いていて、少しだけ気持ち悪いことを思い出してたんだよ。
Yeah, do share.
気持ち悪いことって？
うん。
Mm-hmm.
覚えてるかい？
No.
ベアトリーチェの手紙。
Yes.
ベアトリーチェは利子の回収を行うと言っていたね。
I think so.
そして利子とは後ろ宮家のすべてだと言った。
Probably. Jessica and I thought back on what Maria had read aloud the previous night. Yeah, position of family alchemist. I am to receive everything of the Ushiromiya family as interest. Yeah. This is indeed true. Upon the termination of the contract. Yeah. Yep.
言ってたぜ。
It did say. I can confirm.
確かに言ってた。そして利子の回収をこれから行うが、黄金の謎を解いたらその権利を失うとも言ってたよな。
True and real.
おじい様は黄金を授かり、後ろ宮家を再興した。つまり黄金を資本に生み出したものすべてが利子だってベアトリーチェは言っている。つまり
冗談きついぜ兄貴。
I mean, you know.
まさか後ろ宮家のすべて。
Yes.
つまりじい様が生み出したものすべてってことは、じい様から血を分けた一族のことを指すってのかよ。
あの手紙をそう読み解いたなら、この殺人はベアトリーチェが行った正当な利子の回収ということになる。となればこの事件はまだ続くよ。利子の回収はまだ途中なんだからね。
Yeah. So basically, this whole game is just the whole of Ushiromiya family being basically slaves or servants of Beatrice, and the Ushiromiya family is trying to raise to get granted freedom. So basically the abolishment of slavery in the USA, this is just a parallel to that, right? Yeah, sure. I don't know why my mind went to that, but sure. Clearly this is just a metaphor for that. Not metaphor, but yeah, a parallel to that. Yeah, sure, yeah. George turns around, looking over the parlor. There were still many people who held the name Ushiromiya. And we knew that since Goda-san and Shannon-chan had been killed, not even the servants who didn't bear the name of Ushiromiya would be spared.
私たち全員を殺すつもりかよ。
On the 10th night. Twilight, sorry.
でもおかしいよジョージ兄さん。ならどうして6人だけ？他に大勢殺せたはず。下手をすれば寝込みを襲って全員を一晩で殺すことも可能だったはず。
Yeah. That is a good question. Like, obviously the answer here is, on the surface, the answer is just that only 6 were killed, because that's what it says on the prophecy. But the real question is, why does it say that on the prophecy? Why specifically 6 on the first Twilight? Is it because 666? I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's a fun riddle for the game and that's literally it. But she does raise a good question, or at least by her saying that it raised a good question in my mind, that why is the riddle written like it is? Like why specifically 6?
どうしてそれをしなかったの？
特別条項だよ。黄金の謎を暴く者が現れたら、李氏の権利は失われる。
Yeah. I was like, what are we talking about? But yeah, obviously, yeah, she's just following the riddle and the contract. Yeah.
そして手紙の最後にはこう結ばれていたはずだよ。おじい様の黄金の謎をみんなで解いてみろとね。
ジーザス
I need Oh, it doesn't appear yet.
ようやく犯人のメッセージが分かってきたじゃねえか。つまり犯人は俺たちにじい様のあの碑文の謎を解いてみやがると言ってるわけだ。
Sure. And from your point of view, it's basically a normal human pretending to be this witch, and is telling everyone else to solve the riddle so they can get the gold, so they don't have to think about it, by threatening everyone here with getting murdered.
しかもぼやぼやしてればどんどん李氏の回収を進めちまうつもりだ。
I'm sorry, but this was just such a great line.
ジーザス
Jesus.
ようやく犯人のメッセージが分かってきたじゃねえか。
特別
ジーザスジーザス
特別
ジーザス
Tokubetsu Jesus. I might actually make that my I don't know, message notification sound on my phone. Oh, sorry, I didn't read that. I realized that this was all based on several crazy guesses. But not everything that happens in this world is joined together in a perfect line. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging this game. Not everything needs to be perfectly crafted, or to make sense, or to be Occam's razor? That, whatever it is. Yeah. And not everything needs to be Chekhov's gun or whatever it is, and if something is mentioned, it doesn't need to appear ever again. Not everything needs to be building blocks for something further in. It can just be throwaway lines, and not everything needs to be crafted for a perfect story. Sorry, that was a weird tangent. Most unknown phenomena are nothing but individual plot points. By joining them together into lines, we deepen our understanding. The closer together the points at the ends of those lines are, the more logical it is, and the easier to understand. The farther away they are, the more it lacks those qualities. That is why we use a distance analogy and call such theories way out there. However, if you can only join up to a small, limited distance away, we call it having a limited imagination. Is imagination different from reasoning? Was I just trying to force everything that I knew about the case to fit my simple imagination? Probably. No, that's not it. When you're searching around with your hands in the dark, that search is imagination. Only imagination can find the 2 points you should connect together. Reasoning is nothing more than the action of drawing the line between them. If you can't imagine, you can't reason. That's quite the line. What I was doing might be out there, but it shouldn't be wrong either. Only the power of imagination can pull out a clue from the darkness. And the power of reasoning ties those clues together. It's a lot like the process of searching out an enemy's weak spot and striking. It's alright if it's crazy. Find the weak point first. Then we can think about how to strike. Now was the time to find the points that we could tie together later. Yeah, sure. Is what we are going to be doing over the course of probably the first 4 episodes. Yeah, I think I need to stop this part here. I need to go do something else for now. Yeah. Patreon early access 2 weeks, link in the description. Cool. See ya. Bye.